everybody, welcome to a Cricut craft tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful sunflower mobile. It's really quick and easy craft and super fun to do, and you guys can be super creative with it. You don't have to use sunflowers, and you can make these for a baby's room, for your office, all sorts of great ideas that you can do with this. And you only need a few things. You just need, up here you see a floral wreath, metal one from the Dollar Tree, some cardstock in the color of your choosing, some twine to hang it from, and then all I used is some thread. So it doesn't take much and it's a really easy project. Before we get started though, make sure you subscribe to my channel because I put out new videos all the time. Make sure you hit the bell icon, that'll alert you when I post a new video. And let's go ahead and get this started. So in Design Space, I'm going to show you guys how to load the SVG, which is in my Etsy shop linked below. It's only $1 if you want to do the exact style that I have done. So what you're going to do is click Upload, and you're going to go to Upload Image, and you're going to click on Browse, and you're going to find the folder that it's in. So on mine, I know it's on my desktop, in my Cricut folder, and I know that I called it like Sunflower something. So we're just going to scroll down until we get to the S's. I have a lot of random stuff in here. I should probably someday clean this out, but really, where's the fun in that? So we're just going to have to find it, and I really am not seeing it. There it is, right here, Sunflower. So you can see it has our 3 pieces. So all we're going to do now is click Save, and because it's an SVG, it already knows that it's going to be a cut file and that it comes in these different shapes or different pieces. So we're going to go ahead and insert our image. Now this does come across a little bit small, but this is the one size that you can make it. I'm going to ungroup it really quick just to show you. So this would be pretty tiny, but it just depends on how big you want them, and you can always make them in varied sizes as well. But what I like to do mine this part about 2.5 inches. So I'm just going to expand this a bit, and you want to make sure that you have all of them selected when you resize anything if you've ungrouped, because if you don't, your sizes won't be right and you'll have like too small of a center. So that's pretty good. That's about where I need it. Now again, they're all ungrouped, so they will automatically show you on different mats. So what we're going to do is click Make It so I can show you guys. So you got your brown mat for your center, 1 yellow for your outside, and then 1 yellow for your middle. But I don't want to cut just one. We're going to actually cut all 54. So let's go ahead and click Apply. Now this may take a moment, so give it a second to load it. It depends. Some people's are a little quicker, and also depends on how quickly Design Space is working. Now I only have my yellows in an 8.5 by 11. So what you can do is select the color of the mat that you have the size paper for, and we're going to tell it that we only have 8.5 by 11. And it's going to change that for each of your mats that are that color. You can see all the way down to mat 7. Now this does take quite a few sheets of paper, so keep that in mind. Now for this one, we also only have 8.5 by 11, so go ahead and select that again. And it's going to stick as many of them on as you can. Now chances are you can fit an extra one on there, so you can move your stuff around. All you have to do to move your things is just click on it and drag it. That's all you have to do. It's really, really easy. So obviously you can fit more on these sheets, and you could pretty much save a whole sheet by coming to this, and up here in these 3 dots, just click Move to another mat, and it's going to ask you which mat you want it to move to. So let's just move it to that mat. It's going to take you there, and it's going to look like it didn't move it, but it did because it's actually connected to that one. So you're just going to put another one there, and you're going to do that for each of these. You can also resize them a little bit to make sure that they'll all fit and not leave you a ton of like leftover space. That's not, always ideal, but you can do it that way if it works for you. It's just a matter of what kind of time you want to put in to moving your stuff around. It's just a matter of personal preference. But you can obviously move stuff around, and I think even with this one, you could almost fit a whole nother row, but I don't think quite. So you just might want to size them down a little bit just to see if you can fit more. So when you hit Continue, and I'm actually going to go back over here to make sure I select the right materials here. So this one is going to be cut on glitter. This is the brown. Let's see if I can get it to show you. This is our brown mat. Come on. A lot of times when you hover over it, it'll make it bigger. There you go. So our brown mat is going to be glitter. So you see that it's not on your main screen. Click Browse All Materials and then scroll down to cardstock. You could also search it, and you just select glitter cardstock and click Done, and then you can load that mat. But when you go back to do your next mat, it's not going to be glitter cardstock. I'm not going to cut this on the screen for you because I already cut it. But you're going to click on this again, and you're just going to select light cardstock. You can use multiple types of materials per project as you cut. You just have to remember to change your materials. So I'm going to show you guys how to assemble these. It's really easy, really fun, and then we'll have this beautiful finished product. I've cut everything on my maker, and I have used glitter cardstock for the centers, and then this is just some different shades of yellow cardstock for the petals. So what we need to do is use a little bit of hot melt glue to assemble our flowers. So what I like to do is I'll do just a little dab on the center right here. And you don't need much, just a little dab will do on these. And then you just center it best you can, because again, flowers are not perfect in nature, so they don't have to be perfect here. So I just center it right on the little yellow one. You can see right there. He's pretty well centered. And then you take the bright yellow one, the bigger one, and you're going to put just the same, a little dab of glue right here in the center. And then I just like to line up my petals so they match for the most part. It's not going to be 100% perfect. Again, just like so. And there is your flower. So we're going to finish doing that with the rest of all of our flowers. And we come back, I'm going to show you guys how we're going to assemble them so they're double-sided, and then we have the string in between. We're ready to put our flowers onto our string. Now this is just some white thread. I don't want to use anything too skinny or too breakable just because I want this to be able to hang. So what you're going to do is take one flower and place it under the string, or you can place the string on top of it. And you can just kind of center it. It doesn't have to be perfect. And hopefully you guys can see. I know the string's a little bit tough to see. And what I do is I will just take a little dab of hot melt glue and stick it in the center of my flower. And then I take my string, and it's okay if you have a little tail of string at the end. Don't worry, we're going to fix that once we trim everything off. So then you're just going to take your other flower, you're going to line it up best you can, and you're going to, again, just line it up best you can. It doesn't have to be perfect, nobody will notice. And this little tail at the end will cut off. But this will be the flower that's going to hang on your mobile. Now I have 50, I don't even remember, I think 55 flowers or so. So we're going to just kind of space them out throughout the string. I'll probably do about maybe 2 or 3 a string. I think 3 a string. And you're just going to space them out, and you can move, like you can add string or take string away if you needed to on some of them, like if you end up with them too gathered. But that's why I leave a tail at the end, because you can always hang it higher or lower. But that's all you're going to do, and you're just going to do that for all of your flowers. And this part's the pretty easy part. It's just a matter of like lining them up, and I'll line them up, and then you just wait till your when your hot melt glue isn't super, you know, done. And there's your second flower on your string. So we're just going to keep going with that, and then when we come back, we'll be ready to put our string onto the round piece that's going to hold our mobile. I've pre-tied on quite a few of them just to get it started, and you guys can kind of start to see that they're going to hang. And I'll pull you guys back a little bit more once we are ready to show you the whole thing. But what I did is I just sort of spaced them out based on kind of how long I made each of the strings. And each string is totally different. I didn't try to make them the same at all. But all I did was I just took the end of the string and I just made a loop and I made a knot. And all I do is double knot it. Now if you wanted a little more security, you could put a little dab of glue on them if you wanted. I don't really need it because this isn't really going to hang anywhere too spectacular. It's just going to probably end up hanging in my craft room. Now that being said, this can actually hang one of two ways. So you can hang it with the wreath making more of a dome, I guess I would call it, and or with the wreath making more of a bowl shape. So it's just going to be a personal preference because you see it's kind of the dome this way, but if you flip it over, it makes kind of the bowl. So it's just a preference thing, and I just have one more string to do. And you guys can add strings if you want. You can, you know, take strings away. It's just all a matter of what you guys want to do. And I do see I need to trim the bottom of one of them. but it's just a matter of your style. And if you want to add, obviously add more if you want to do different flowers or stars or whatever. This is all your creativity and how you want to do it. So this is just one example of a way to do this and a style to use. Now I will say, trying to get me tying a knot on these on camera is so hard because I have to do it so close to my body because I can't tie a knot to save my life. And this string actually ended up being kind of short. I should have cut it a little bit longer, but I really wasn't paying attention, and this thing keeps wanting to fall off of my desk. So yeah, I wasn't totally paying attention. I should have cut this one way longer. Give yourself extra string at the end. It'll make knot tying 150 times easier than struggling with these little short ends like I am doing right now. But yeah, definitely double knot them. You can use pretty much anything you want. If you want it to look like it's floating, use an invisible string or a fishing line. If you want it to look more like ribbon, you can use, you know, whatever kind of style ribbon you want. These are all super creative and fun, and you just do with them what you will. So I know you guys can't see the whole thing yet, but I'm going to trim off some of these little ends because I've got a few little strings at the end that I missed. And once we do that, I'll get it hung up so you guys can see it. Here is the final product. Now I know you guys saw it at the beginning of the video, but I always like to show it to you guys finished and then once again at the end so you guys can truly see it step by step. This has 27 flowers on it, and that's just each individual. There's actually 54 different flowers because they're double-sided. So you need to cut each piece 54 times, just like I said when we were over in Design Space. This project can be super creative and great for babies' rooms, for offices. Heck, mine's hanging in my kitchen right now. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm always happy to answer that for you. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos all the time. And hit that bell icon because that'll let you know when I post a new video. I hope you guys had a great time learning how to make this beautiful craft, and happy crafting.